Hey there, everyone. How are you doing today? We are back with Aluminum Tarot. We're going to do another reading for today. Start out with the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to read pretty much March-ish from now until a month later. I'm going to go ahead and peer into the energies. This works for Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Cancer. We are going to firstly draw from the Moonology Oracle deck, and then we'll move on to some other ones. This is my trusty dusty tarot, and in addition we're going to pull from the mini Art Nouveau. So if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings, and additionally just support the channel in the best way you can. It doesn't really cost anything. Not really looking for reaching out right now for any personal readings, because I just want to work on improving quality of life and focus on myself for a bit. That said, I'm going to look into Cancer's reading and try to understand what's taking place for this particular period. All right, Cancer, you're up. What's your message? Okay. Don't let your past hold you back. And that is typical of Cancerian issues. What we normally talk about with don't let the past hold you back is if you've got anything that you carry within your subconscious or your conscious mind, which is preventing you from reaching your full potential, maybe holding you back due to your ties towards it. Maybe that could be a relationship. It could be a person that may be keeping, you under their thumb. Anything that would create a regression of progress within your world, within your life. You may want to look into that and try to find out what you need to sever ties to, because they no longer hold any positivity within your life, and they actually work at your detriment. So kind of think about that. And even if you're entering into a new phase of your life, what we want to do is to see what it is precisely that could sabotage new things from coming in. For example, allowing old triggers to affect your new relationships, or, getting into work situations and then having yourself sabotage those because of things that have happened to you in the past. Cancerians typically are, past orientated, so they oftentimes, will harbor a grudge, to say the least, but we're not going to focus too much on that. Anyways, let's go ahead, we'll peer into the tarot and we'll see exactly what's going to be in store for you for this period of time. So, Spirit, Cancer's current energy, Cancer's current energy from March until a month later. What is Cancer's challenge? What is Cancer's challenge? Queen of Wands in the reverse. What's in her recent past? What is in Cancer's recent past? What is in Cancer's near future? That's good. What about in the core energy? What about in the core energy? Your energy, King of Cups, Scorpio as well, but who's counting? Crown energy, Fool. Okay, and the ultimate outcome from now until a month later. Knight of Wands. Great. Nine of Wands in the current energy. We have the Knight of Wands as the ultimate outcome for this period from now until a month later. we're going to talk a little bit about what we see here in the reading. So first of all, we have the Five of Cups in the reverse. You have dealt with a difficult situation that took place in the recent past, and you are getting over the disappointment that has taken place as a result of that. We have the Queen of Wands here, which is the challenge. Queen of Wands in the reverse would indicate that you have difficulties with self-confidence, and you are striving to, I suppose, reclaim your crown. That's basically the message that I'm getting here. And I got the Fool twice, put that there. So we have the Fool right here, and the Fool as your conscious energy. We'll talk a little bit about that because that indicates strong Aquarian energy there. People oftentimes say the Fool is kind of Aries energy, but I do see it as both Aries and Aquarius. With the number 0, it oftentimes talks about, coming around full circle. The 0 is actually, the Fool is the World card being reborn, basically. After you go through all the trials and tribulations, you receive all the gifts and bearings of your fruits, the fruits of your labor, as you would say. This is done in the feminine energy where you receive the accolades. But the masculine energy comes back to the forefront at the start of the Fool's journey as it completes it all over again. And this is also indicative of the cycle of, reincarnation and so on. But on a more simplistic term right here, after dealing with this period of disruption in your life and disappointment, heartbreak, and sadness, you are now coming into an energy where you feel that, hey, this has happened. I need to go ahead and kind of get back on my square, getting things so that I can attract the things that I really want, because the Queen of Wands is attractive. She works to attract the things that she needs in her life, kind of like mini Empress energy in many ways. Very passionate about things. It could feel like you've lost the passion that you've had for certain situations and scenarios, and that can typically happen after a period of long trauma. Nevertheless, in the recent past, what we see here is the Three of Swords. I'm going to clarify that. Three of Swords clarified by the Nine of Swords. Three of Swords in the reverse clarified by the Nine of Swords. In the recent past, you had a lot of mental anguish, struggle, and difficulty getting through this period. But with the Three of Swords, it does indicate that you are doing your best to overcome this stagnant energy of healing, learning lessons, and dealing with betrayals and so on. So this may have put you in a bit of a bind where you felt that mentally you were unable to move on or move forward. And furthermore, you may have been wrestling with demons or particular anxieties, fears, and potentially, I get mini devil energy here, even though the devil's not present. But what I see here is that a person may have even had addictions that were causing them a bit of strain and stress. However, what we do see here in the future is that we see the Three of Pentacles here. And let me see if I can change the angle here. Okay, much better. We've sorted out the problem here. Technical difficulties. Now let's carry on. I wanted to be able to see a little bit more of what the cards are saying here, actually, because it's been a bit difficult to try to get that to work out. Anyways, let's carry on. We have Nine of Swords again, and Three of Swords in the reverse clarified by the Nine of Swords, so a period of difficulty mentally in the past. I did give a little bit of an explanation about that, but let's move on into the near future, which is the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So you are now connecting with and collaborating with things that will lead to your ultimate happiness. Clarify these two cards, please, Spirits. Clarify these two cards. And there you go. That is exactly what I was talking about, the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands comes at a period of time in which you are actually going into new uncharted territory. You have a new start in something that's quite significant. That could be that you're actually hooking up and getting some punani or whatnot for men or women, depends on what you like. But in the 3D, normally it talks about a new start. Let's clarify this new start. What is the new start here? What is the new start? Seven of Swords. Okay. Seven of Swords and the Ten of Wands. So what it forewarned is forearmed. So if you are strategizing on how you can overcome some of the difficulties within your life with the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Wands here, that could be a potential thing that you're doing. So if you're trying to pay off debts, if you're trying to, navigate the dating market, if you're trying to strategize on the next thing that you want to take place after this period of difficulty, you may be trying to even talk to a therapist, I would say, because you do have the King of Cups here in your core energy, which can indicate a kind of counsel. Nevertheless, what we see is that I notice how the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Wands are looking at each other. This could be, well, they're looking away from each other, kind of, but they have an eye turned backwards. What we could be seeing here is that maybe it's an indicator that you may want to be a bit careful about, the ways that you subconsciously self-sabotage. For example, the more that you move in one direction, thinking that you've gotten away with something, in the other direction, what you don't see is that you are creating further burdens for yourself throughout life. So try to avoid that energy, as you begin to navigate your new life. This can be detrimental to you if you have done this in the past. So what it's saying is that maybe for this time, as you begin to start to connect with things that bring about your happiness, try not to allow the past to hold you back. As you look towards your past, the way you were sabotaging things, or if that did take place, your future, looking forward, but kind of with an eye backwards, is going to be full of more and more burdens that you'll have to shoulder, and that's something that you don't want to carry into your future. The more you sabotage, the more you'll go into your future with burdens. I think that's what that's trying to warn about or tell us. So now we look at the core energy. We have the King of Cups. King of Cups is normally about being wise, emotionally mature, and being able to see things as they are with a clear conscience and head. Tell us more about the King of Cups. So once again, we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse again, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So you're learning about the things that that gave you a knock on your confidence. Again, the Queen of Wands is a quite confident person. They're attractive. They get what they want. They work towards the things that they want, and they learn how to attract the people into their lives that they want. They do it quite effortlessly too. However, with this, you're looking at the situations that have, corrupted your self-esteem in ways. Did you allow these things to creep into your, into your psyche? Did you allow people to say that you weren't good enough? Did you allow people to tell you that you weren't working hard enough, when in fact you actually were? Try to look at yourself and see the new value that you're finding from these new endeavors that you're taking place with. Because the Page of Pentacles is a student. They are learning practical things about themselves, but they are learning things that are of lasting value. They take that little pentacle and they plant it, and they go from that to the Knight of Pentacles, to the Queen of Pentacles, to the King. And this allows for them to master the physical realm. And that's precisely what you want to do. But even more so, the pentacle represents a type of value, an inherent value within yourself that is going to allow you to, pour the foundation for everything else that you do in your life. Because without that sense of self-worth, you are going to struggle in doing anything with the other three elements. So that's something that you want to be mindful of. Now we have the Fool. The Fool did come out twice. It just kind of popped out when I was shuffling previously. So this is a very important message. We talk about the Fool. Clarify the Fool. Three of Wands. Two. Okay. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. There's that Knight of Pentacles we were talking about. So as you move through this journey of discovering your self-worth, try not to focus on the superficial. I see you kind of in a ways looking back at the times in which you were focused on more superficial or even shallow things, maybe status, the way someone made you look, the way someone made you feel on a shallow level, possibly even hookups or, working towards things that made you look good, but actually detracted from your overall sense of self-confidence. It almost feels like you have your back turned to those things with the Three of Wands here and the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. You're no longer going to be focused or concerned about status, but you're worried more about taking leaps into new territories that will actually benefit you longer term. Taking risks of sorts, but in a way, you're doing it in a way that actually leads to growth. And I think that's going to be a very positive asset for you. So that's what you're consciously aware of. Now, we look into the next bit of this. We talk about the Knight of Wands, which is the ultimate outcome. Tell us, where are they going? Where are they going? What's the Knight of Wands about? We have yet again another Aquarius card. And we have the King of Wands here. So you go from a Queen of Wands in the reverse to a King of Wands. So if you can master that sense of self-confidence, that will allow you to heal, which is what the star is all about. This comes after your tower moment. So you go from the tower to the star. And this essentially allows you to rebuild on a better foundation, balance between the earthly realms and the watery realms of spirit. So in order to gain that clarity, sorry, probably forgot about the nudie bombs here that probably shouldn't be showing on YouTube because YouTube is cracking down on natural things. What we do see is that, with the star and the King of Wands, you're stepping into a more masculine energy. With your healing process, you will be using more feminine energy, making yourself vulnerable to your insecurities, things of that nature, and then rapidly stepping into that Knight of Wands energy, moving into the King of Wands. So you go from the Ace of Wands to the Queen of Wands in the reverse to you go from the Ace of Wands to the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands. So it's all about stepping up, going into that masculine energy to explore ways that you can build your confidence by maybe creating your own talents, getting into things. What are the ways that, how are they going to, I suppose, how is Cancer going to be able to find this self-confidence? Creating it, pouring love into yourself. You're going to have to use your available resources to explore the things that will boost your sense of self. And additionally, you'll have to pour love into yourself. Two of Cups in the reverse doesn't mean a disconnect per se, but it means that directed towards you, connected with your head and heart. These are internal processes that need to take place, not external. Maybe you tried to find your love within people outside of yourself, and this is precisely the thing that's created the chaos, because you can't control externalities, you can control yourself. And by doing this, you empower yourself, which is what the Wands energy is all about. Going from that Queen of Wands in reverse, feeling disempowered, to finally going into the King of Wands in the upright, which is a more masculine and also less worried about what happens to you, what you attract in. And now we're stepping into the realm of managing everything, not being afraid to get burnt, because you see the salamanders in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, all have salamander imagery within them, which is about, being unafraid of the fire, walking the fiery path, and protected from the element itself. So that is pretty much where I get here. Don't let the past hold you back as you step into this positive energy, Cancer. Thanks so much. This has been Aluminum Tarot. And we have been reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for now until a month later. If you like what you see here, again, as always, please be sure to subscribe, ding the notification bell, comment below and see if this affects you or if this has affected you. You can do this way after the reading has taken place. But that's going to be it for everyone. I'm wrapping this up. Thank you. Until next time, love and light. Bye now.